let's like switch gears now into the Super Bowl, because obviously it's kind of the biggest thing everyone's talking about. And coming out of the Super Bowl, you know, I'm not a sports guy. I didn't catch much of the game. I hear that the red ones won. But I think that's a good thing, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Kansas City obviously took home the win. But I think ultimately that the biggest headline is, of course, the halftime show with Rihanna.
Yeah.
Dying to know what your thoughts are.
Oh man.
Let's have it.
First of all, it was a great game. It was a really good game. You know, non-sports people and sports people, was very entertaining. Hats off to both teams. The halftime show, man. First of all, I love Rihanna. I've loved Rihanna since she first came out on the scene, and I was a little nervous because I know sometimes these artists, like newer artists, will either come out and just like, you know, do the thing and like, you know, blow through it really quick, almost like seems that way, or they're gonna put a show on. And as soon as the lights went dark and like you saw those platforms that she was on, and
those are wild.
it was so sick, man. It kind of was like a little reminiscent to like Gaga jumping off the top of the thing with the drones and stuff. So I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. She looked beautiful. She sounded great. You know, it was everything I could have wanted in a Rihanna show. I mean, I'm trying to think if there was like any songs that, I could have done with like an appearance, like someone walking, you know, like joining her for like a little bit. You know?
Yeah, totally. I think she needed it.
Yeah, but then again, also like the opposing side to that is like, it's Rihanna. She really doesn't need anybody to like do her thing. And I kind of thought that was really cool too, that she was just like, no, I'm just gonna stand up here. She was pregnant, right? Did I read that?
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing. I think that my take on it is probably less enthusiastic than yours. But you know, for the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about it on the podcast. There's been this rumor that I had heard that she was going to announce a world tour following the Super Bowl. There was also, because Apple Music was promoting was sponsoring the halftime show, there was a lot of rumors and talk that maybe she was going to surprise drop an album at the end of the performance. And there was a lot of hype about this like big surprise. And then she came out and she did say, actually in an interview, I think it was last week, that she was thinking about bringing somebody along on the performance, which we then, of course, found out that it was her unborn child.
Yeah, right. Right.
And I mean, I guess like, you know, that baby's already world famous and, and good for it. But I felt like it almost distracted because there was like a lot of talk. I immediately took to Twitter when I saw her start, because I was like, okay, are we talking that, is she pregnant? Did she just announce it with this look?
Yeah.
Or, you know, she wasn't very long ago that she had her first child.
Right.
And so, you know, I didn't want to shame anyone. Or, you know, I was like, it's Rihanna, but like, this seems odd, like an odd costume choice if she's not pregnant, but why don't we know this? And I felt like it started to distract from her actual performance, because then I was just like watching her bump the whole time, being like, is that a bump?
It's really funny you say that, because I didn't catch it at first either. I didn't see that's what was going on, and Emily was like, oh, I think she's actually pregnant, because being an idiot, was like, man, I was expecting Rihanna to like show a little more skin and like be in a Rihanna outfit right now, you know totally. What I mean? And then Emily was like, no, I think she's pregnant. I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense now.
And I also think that like, had I known that she was pregnant, I might have felt a little different about the performance, because I did think that she was like a little low energy for Rihanna, knowing that I've like seen her perform before. She dances. I mean, she is a dancer as well. And, you know, I felt like there was just like a little bit of lackluster at one point. She was like sitting down on the stage. And, you know, I was just like, wait, this is Rihanna. Like, why is she sitting here? Like, we need something else. But I know that like when women are pregnant, like it also like is really difficult to sing. You've got like less lung capacity and all of those things. So, you know, I'm giving her a break, obviously, but yeah, I think I read too, you mentioned the solo thing. I think this is a fact, but I don't know this to be accurate, because there's obviously been a long history of the Super Bowl. but I think that Gaga is the only other artist that has done it solo without other special guests or
Wow.
without it being several acts. So she is now the second artist to do that. And like you said, it's Rihanna, so it
It
makes
makes
sense.
sense. Yeah. Wow. I didn't know. I didn't. But yeah, you're right. I forgot Gaga. She didn't bring anybody out, or no one was there. Again, unneeded. Like to a certain extent, it's just for us to view. But I mean, I think like overall, I mean, listen, when you're Rihanna or when you're a Gaga or whoever, most of these artists that get the chance to do the Super Bowl halftime show, like you're already a megastar. And for me, it's like just that category, just a catalog of songs that she played in the order of them and the way that they went in,
Mm-hmm.
the band and whoever like made those go in and out of one another. It's like it's a hit. You can't
Yeah.
deny it. And even as a fan of her music, I was watching this last night and I was like, oh my god, this is her. This is an amazing. Like I totally
Yeah.
forgot about like two of the songs at the top of like the set, and I was like, oh
Mm-hmm.
wow, this is great. This is great to hear it like this.
Yeah, I was like surprised too because she started it with "Bitch Better Have My
Yeah,
Money," and I thought like, wow, that's like what a way to start the Super Bowl.
so
Like,
hardcore.
this might be really controversial,
Yeah,
and so I didn't know where she was going to go from there. But I thought it was really good. You mentioned the platforms. I thought that was like definitely the highlight of the
totally.
performance. I
Yeah,
thought that it was like very cool the way that they did that. My favorite shot, I ended up posting it on Instagram because I just thought like that's a shot that was going to go down in history. At the very end when she's singing Diamonds and you just
oh,
see
with the
like all the
light.
lights
Yeah,
behind her
yeah,
and like the camera zooms out and there's like fireworks going
beautiful.
above, and yeah, it was like a gorgeous
Yeah.
shot. I think the other thing about the Gaga situation is that now I compared it to Rihanna,
Hmm.
and Gaga had costume changes and just like her dancing was like out of this universe. It was like so insane the way that she was dancing. Um, but yeah, and I didn't feel like Rihanna didn't ever change. She didn't do a lot of
Right.
movement, and so I did kind of want
Yeah.
more,
I yeah.
but I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
I get that. I do get that. And I actually like stop myself sometimes because I'm in the music industry. So, because I usually have that opinion all of the time. It doesn't really matter who I'm seeing or especially for like this big something as big as like halftime shows. And I try to stop myself and be like, the majority of people that are watching this don't understand what goes into the production and
What
like
goes
all
into
this
it?
other stuff. So like sometimes keep your opinions to yourself. But I do agree with you. I do think that there could have been a little bit more like of even if it was just like props, something moving around. Given
Yeah,
that she was pregnant, I get that she stayed in one look, and that was cool because she looked beautiful. She looked great. I think the dancers were really
hmm,
cool. I don't know if you caught this, but a lot
yeah.
of people are like comparing the dancers' outfits to that like Chinese balloon thing that happened.
Oh yeah,
Like a
yeah,
lot of a lot of
yeah.
people, I was laughing about that. But I really I thought they looked awesome. I thought like the dancers were on point with her. Like they were so tight. And then it was
Totally, yeah.
but I'm the same way, man. Like I watched these and I was thinking because I knew we were doing this and I was thinking about like, my real favorite, like which one I always go back to.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I want to know.
Gaga's definitely one of them. But really, where I go back